friend, welcome again to today's episode. And we are telling ourselves that we will blossom despite. Life has challenges, and we are looking at these challenges, especially the challenges we went through during childhood. As you know, I love talking about our childhood because it controls so much of who we become today, right? Yeah, and we are looking at childhood bruises, and today we are on part 3, and we are looking at the bruise of abandonment. The bruise of abandonment. And our character today, remember I always say these are people I've created in my head, and we look at this person, we look at how are they showing up in the world today. And then we go back to their childhood and look at some of the bruises they may have gone through and how they contribute to the person that they show up every day in their daily life. So welcome to my counseling room, and my client today is called Ellie. Now, Ellie is pacing in his house and he's holding a phone and he's hesitating to send a text. And his hesitation is because he's bracing himself for abandonment. And he's asking himself, if I send this text, what if they leave? What if they tell me off? He sent the text and then he looks at the blue tick and there's no response. And he's telling himself, this silence feels like a storm is waiting to break. He has realized that when he said no to people, his worst fear is, what if these people leave? What if I'm left alone? And so, in life today, Ellie clings to relationships even when they are harmful. Yeah. Because the fear of being alone is worse than the pain of staying. Think about that. Ellie would rather go through the pain of enduring a painful relationship than leaving. And so we see that Ellie today struggles so much to say no, even when he feels the relationship is not working. And with Ellie, let's say if he was my client, I'm thinking he needs to explore where this came from. Where does this fear of being abandoned come from? And Ellie, playing him in my mind, I'm thinking Ellie may have gone through a childhood experience where one day when he was playing outside as a child, maybe about 7 or 8, you may wonder how I pick my children between 6, 7, 8. It's because psychology tells us that personality is formed by the time we hit the age of 10. Your personality is already formed through the experiences we have gone through and through the nature, like our personality, the person that we are. So through nature and nurture, our personality is formed by the age of 10. So Ellie remembers when he one day walked up the stair at the front porch. And as he was excited to get back into the house, he hears screams coming from the house. And so he stands still and listens. And he hears that it's the mom who was screaming. He sat at the stairs and there was silence in the house. And he waited. And after some time, he heard footsteps coming down. And somebody opened the door. And when he looked, it was his mom. And the mother, once she saw him sitting at the staircase, she wiped her tears very quickly. And she talked to Ellie. She held him and, holding tears, told him, Ellie, I have to go. But I promise I'll come back tomorrow. And that's how the mom left. So Ellie remembers how the mother left. And the following day, because it was during school break, he woke up and went and sat at the staircase and waited for mom to come. She never showed up. She never returned. And days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. And Ellie remembers that mom said she'll come, but she never came. And during this time of waiting, life never was the same, because the dad was unable to take care of him and he was taken at the grandmother's. And she felt that life has totally taken a different turn without my mom. And what was planted in the heart of Ellie because of this experience, he got a painful belief that he wasn't enough, that he must have done something wrong for the mother to leave. You see, abandonment is a very bad teacher. Very, very bad. Why? Because it makes us create stories. And the stories we tell ourselves is that love is unsafe. Love is temporary. And the people we love will always leave. And somehow, it's our fault. Think about that. At this moment, when I think about Ellie, it makes me look into our society. And there are many people, we've heard of abusive relationships where people are choosing to stay even when they are going through so much pain. Because the pain of staying, according to them, is more bearable than the pain of leaving because of abandonment. And I would call out to that person that look at your childhood. Where did this bruise start from? Could it be that you went through abandonment as a child? And what was communicated to you is that it was your fault that that person left. A significant other could have been your mom or a caregiver. And you tell yourself, I would rather stay, even though it looks so bad. I would rather stay and feel the pain, but I don't want to be left. So what would happen is that because of the pain, Ellie would cling to very bad relationships. And even though he was unsafe, how it shows up in adulthood now is that he'll be clingy. It results into clinginess. It results into fear of solitude. It results into staying in places where we feel we are not valued, just to avoid being alone. And so, Ellie, the conversation that I would start with him is that he has to look back and see where did it start, and then ask himself, what beliefs do I still hold on to that are not working for me today? He's not happy, honestly. If he's afraid that he's saying no because of the circumstances of the relationship he has been in, if he's feeling that saying no is bad, even when he knows it's the right thing to say, then something has to change. He has to tell himself that he has to ask himself, who am I without this person? Where do I feel I'm not worthy of love? Okay? Can he stand being alone? He just have to start loving solitude, loving being alone, embracing himself, that he doesn't have to be validated by others. He can validate himself. And so he needs to reclaim security by giving himself the things that were never given to him. For example, he needs to give himself kindness. He needs to give himself care. He needs to give himself attention. He needs to have some fun alone. Yeah. He needs to have to start learning that he can take himself out for a coffee, just alone, and learn to love himself in solitude. He just have to learn to be present even with himself. And this is the call that I have for us today. For those that are in places where they feel it's so painful to stay in this relationship, I want to tell you, I'm not advocating for people to leave relationships, but I'm saying if you're in a place where the pain is so much, I mean, you don't have to stay in a place where you feel there's so much pain that you're going through. You can take time to breathe and just love to be alone. Look at where this wound started and start giving yourself the care that was never given to you. We say that we have to go back so that we can move forward. What is that you are denied when that person left, that caregiver left? What is that attention that you never got? These people, these toxic places that you are at, you have to tell yourself that you are worth more and you deserve to be treated with dignity. And so I want to ask you that you can take a step, an intentional practice to take yourself out, to create a rhythm of self-love. Yeah? And I usually tell myself that sometimes it's how I love myself that I'll be able to love others. If I'm not able to love me, then my cup will always be empty. But for me to be able to love others, it has to be an overflow of what I'm already giving myself. And I'll tell you the same, that come to that place where you can love yourself. No one can appreciate you more than you appreciate yourself. Get to that space where you see yourself as worthy of living, worthy to be loved, and you don't have to be apologetic of your existence, my friend. And I call you, please also seek somebody to walk with you, especially those that are in healthy relationships, are in healthy places. Because if you go to people who are going through the same pain like you are, then all you may do is just self-pity. You will have a pity party. But look for somebody that can walk with you the journey of healing. Right? Oprah Winfrey once said that you cannot depend on someone to make you whole. Imagine, you can't, because these people that you're trying to depend on, they're also broken. Other people, they're also broken. They have their own struggles. It's you to look deep within and validate yourself and then choose life. Choose to enjoy every day. As long as you have a pulse, then it means that you have a right to be in this world. Okay? And as I finish, this is so close to my heart. Because as you see, look at social media, there's a lot of brokenness. And people are choosing to stay in places where they are breaking and they are dying. But they want to show on the outside they are okay. But I want to tell you, please go back. Please go back to those places where you may have gone through abandonment and you need healing. And my word for you today from the book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 10, it says that even if my father and mother abandon me, the Lord will hold me close. Even though your caregivers may have abandoned you, imagine God will hold you close. He loves you and He chooses you every day, and He wants you to live a full life. He wants you to choose to be whole because He's already given everything for you to be whole. So, listen, my friend, your life is not defined by those who left. They chose to live. You are loved, you are held, and you're not alone. So choose to come out and get out, heal from that place, the bruise of abandonment, and choose to live whole. So that's where we end it, my friend. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's chat and let's hear stories. Remember, we are telling ourselves we have to heal. We have to rewrite our stories. We have to tell ourselves the old stories that are no longer working for us. We just have to come out and take a pen and take a new trajectory of our lives. So let's keep talking, let's keep the conversation going, and I'll be more than willing, and I'm looking forward to engage with you on the chat box as we talk and say, yes, we need healing, and we will blossom despite the challenges that we have gone through in life. Until next week, thank you. Bye-bye.